Hello everyone, this is probably going to be an awkward video just of how I have to have my filming set up, but I'm in my little corner where I keep my K-pop albums. I have a bookshelf down here and then a shelf that goes on my wall in the corner over here that my Wiki Mickey Dazzle Dazzle album's on. But I'm just going to be filming a video kind of going through the albums that I had bought in the last few months and kind of deciding whether or not to keep some of them. Just because I get rid of something doesn't mean I don't like the group. I just kind of got caught up in the wanting to have a large collection and buy a bunch of albums, but it's not sustainable space or money wise for me. So I've decided to go through my albums and possibly get rid of quite a few of them by hopefully selling them to someone who really wants them. I will not be going through my Wiki Mickey, Dreamcatcher, or Mamamoo albums because they are some of my favorite groups and I won't be getting rid of them, so I'm just going to leave them on my shelves and not worry about that, considering they are a big chunk of the albums that I do have. I know I said I wasn't going to go through any Wiki Mickey albums, but I do have 2 copies of Weekend LOL, and I don't need both, so I will be selling one of them. And then I do have these Red Velvet Rev Festival albums that I think I got at an FYE, and honestly I probably would not have bought them normally if I had not found them at the FYE. So I will be selling these 2, and I do really like Red Velvet, but they seem to be a group that has a lot of people that collect them, and I never got into them as that much. So hopefully I can find albums for somebody. And I also have this one that I also got in FYE that I will be selling as well. And here is one of my Blackpink albums, which I will be keeping at least one version of all my Blackpink albums. They're not the first K-pop group, but one of the first K-pop groups I actually had physical albums from. Oh, and next up is an Everglow album. This is their latest album, and I believe that I will keep this one just because I do enjoy the purple, even though mine's kind of messed up where the picture here isn't lined up properly. And I enjoy the gold sleeves, or not sleeves, pages on the edges. And my next album is a Jennie's solo album from Blackpink, which I will be keeping this one as well. And next up I have these 2 Everglow albums, which I'm fairly new to most K-pop, so I'm not sure about these yet. I am keeping this one because this came out when I first got into K-pop, so it's kind of like the first I heard of them. So I'm not sure if I will be keeping these 2, but I'll have to see what is going on when I finish, so this will be my maybe pile. My Heartfelt album I will be keeping. And then this Cosmic Girls As You Wish, I will probably sell this one. I like them, and I had bought their newest album, but I had sold that one because I had gotten a signed copy, and I'm not a big enough fan of them that I felt like I should find someone else to have the signed copy that is a really big fan of them, but I will probably sell this album. And next up is my nature albums, which I will be keeping all of my nature albums. They're one of my favorites. Next is my Woo-Ha album, which I think I will sell this one. They're good, but I just didn't get into them as much as I did the other groups like Secret Number and Red Square. Obviously, since I have so many of these and more on the way, I will be selling all of these. I think I'll keep 2 for myself. But this is Red Square's first single album. So these will go into my sell pile. This is Good Day's only album. Good Day had members in it from Signature and Red Square, and I found a signed copy, so I will be keeping this. Alright, next up is my only Chungha album. It's her first mini album, and I like Chungha. She's great. Her new single just came out. I think it's called Play. I love it, but I will be selling this. I also have a Ball 4 album, which I bought because I love the music video for one of the songs on it, but I think I will sell this one as well. And next, this album was free to me, and I've looked up who they are before, but I don't remember anymore. But I think I will see if anyone just wants this with their album, if anyone orders from me. And I have 2 copies of Secret Numbers, Who's This? So I will be selling one of these, obviously. And next is JSN. I butchered that. Girls in the Park, The Keys, their newest album. And I think I will keep this one. And this is the only Dreamcatcher album that will be in this video. I had ordered this for very cheap because the side has sun damage. So it's a very different color from the rest. So I will try to sell this one as well. And then I have my 2 Miss A albums, which they are like the first K-pop group I ever bought their albums for. So I have Bad But Good and Step Up, and I would really like to get more of their albums, so hopefully I'll be able to sell some of these and get some of their albums. And next is So You. It's signed. And I got this as well with an album. But I think I will see if anyone is interested in this, and it also has photo cards, so I'll try to sell them together. I have another Nature album here, so I will be keeping that. I also have my copy of Weekly's album that I will be keeping. I have a copy of Alaris's Jackpot, which I believe I will be selling this. And then I have 2 copies of Blackpink's Kill This Love. And I don't think I will keep both of these. I'm not sure which one I'll keep. Probably the black one, but I will just have to see. Next, I have ITZY's albums. Which I think that I will probably keep these. I also got this when I ordered a Dreamcatcher photo card, so I have it, even though I never did the pre-order or whatever it was to get it. So these might be sold in the future, but for right now I think I'll keep them. So next I have the G-Idol 2020 Season's Greetings, which I've already sold a lot of the photo cards from, but I think I will try to sell it, see if anybody's interested. The box came to me damaged. It was like this when I got it, but everything inside was fine. And my G-Idol albums I will be keeping. I really like G-Idol, but I was going to collect Yugi at first, and then it changed to Sujin, and I just decided that their cards are not worth it for me to collect. If I pull future albums, if I pull cards I like, I might keep those, but I've already sold a lot of the cards off, but I will be keeping the albums. So I also have I Made and I Am. Next I have Oh My Girls Nonstop, which I had bought this one secondhand, so it didn't come with photo cards, but I love this album and I will be keeping this. It's my only Oh My Girl album. And I have Sunmu's Warning album, which I believe I will keep this one. It might get sold in the future, but right now I want to keep it. And I have a Bandit, which I have multiple copies, so I will be keeping one and selling the others. Which, for Bandit, I only collect Simyeong, but for Carnival, I wanted to collect the whole group, so I didn't end up getting any. I only got one duplicate in all the albums that I had gotten, so I had traded it and then bought a few other cards. So I have the transparent card and one photo card per member, and then both of Simyeong's for this album. And when I bought their first album, I pulled Simyeong, so I decided not to buy multiple copies or collect the other members. I just don't really like having multiple copies of CDs sitting around. This is my Twice More and More, which I believe that I will be selling this. I started to buy Twice albums and I ended up canceling one of my orders because it was taking so long for them to ship it to me. So this is the only album I ended up getting by Twice, and I enjoyed some of their previous songs, but More and More wasn't that great to me, so I will be selling this one if anyone would be interested in it. And I have Ari's album, which I have a few more of these on the way to me because I'm trying to collect all the members' photo cards, so I will have a couple of copies of this to sell once I get those, but I will be keeping one or two of them for my collection. My A&S albums, which I feel like I will eventually sell 2 of the Say My Name, but I will be keeping Boom Boom and one of the Say My Names, but I don't think those would be up for sale soon. I'm not sure, so I'm going to sit on them for a while because they're all signed. An extra copy of Wikimiki's Lucky that I will be putting up for sale, and I also have extra Dazzle Dazzle copies because I've bought so many of these. So I will be selling these as well. Alright guys, so that is my video. That's pretty much all of my K-pop CDs, which is a lot considering it's only taken me about 3 months to buy all of these. And I have most of Dreamcatcher's CDs as well as Wikimiki and Mamamoo that I am keeping because they're my favorites. And I just wanted to end this video with saying that the only reason I am selling these is that in my mind I don't think I should have bought them in the first place. I got caught up in feeling the need of being a social media collector that has lots of albums by lots of groups, and it's just not sustainable for me. And the fact that I want to put my money into the groups that I really want to support, like Dreamcatcher and Wikimiki. So I'm taking a step back from buying as many albums as I had been, and I just want to say, like, I think this needs to be something that is talked about more, which we're seeing more with people like downsizing their collections, which I have also done a bit with not collecting G-Idol and only collecting certain Mamamoo photo cards and stuff like that. So you shouldn't feel the need to have the most CDs or the most photo cards out of everyone. You should just feel the need to be happy with who you have and the albums that you have and stuff like this, because I see some of these albums, like this stack here, that I am selling, or hopefully will sell. For the most part, a lot of them I shouldn't have bought in the first place, but I was just thinking, like with Red Velvet, because they are a popular group, I thought that I had to have Red Velvet albums, but I can still listen to them on Spotify or whatever, and it's still supporting Red Velvet. I don't need these albums. I'd rather the money be put into another group, which doesn't mean that the money doesn't deserve to go to Red Velvet. I just would rather these albums go to someone who loves Red Velvet as much as I love Wikimiki or like Dreamcatcher. If that makes any sense to anybody. So that's kind of the reason why I want to sell all of these, and also I want to make sure that I have room for future releases of the groups that I really like, or groups that come out that I end up really liking. Like Red Square is one of those groups that I remember saying in my video where I unboxed their first album I bought of them that I didn't think that I would collect them. But it turns out they're the only ones that I'm really wanting to collect out of Red Square, Secret Number, and Woo-ah. So things change, and that's okay, and it's okay to change what you have and sell things you don't need anymore. And we're just gonna leave it at that, and now I need to put my room back together so I can go to bed tonight.